Hi, David Odell here with Odell Complete Concrete. This is a little brick planter modification. What we're doing is we're going to extend this brick planter over to the left all the way to the property line. And that way we can extend the concrete driveway over to the new edge of the brick planter. And really the trick to doing these brick planters, especially when they're this age, is you try to utilize the existing brick or find some brick around the property. Maybe there's an area where you can remove some. In this case, we did have some extra brick ribbons we pulled out of the driveway area, and we salvaged them to put over here to continue this brick planter around. So it's going to be the same brick, in other words. So it'll still have that aging, and it's going to match really nicely. Otherwise, it wouldn't match. I mean, you can get the same brick, but due to aging, it just doesn't match. So basically what we've done here is we've used the original brick. Now here's your planter. This is your footing. I just kind of did an 8-inch wide form. I kind of made a little ladder here. And I'm just positioning it. And then I'm going to do some bagged concrete on the base. I mean, if I had a lot of excess brick, I wouldn't have done it this way. I would have just dug down deeper and then set another extra course of brick. But since I had minimal brick here, I brought the concrete up all the way to the top of the new concrete driveway. Otherwise, I would have had a full brick down below driveway. Now, in this case, I'm doing starting the brick at top of driveway rather than dropping one down below. So that's why I did this form, save some brick, and then you get your footing at the same time. So you could call this a starter wall. So the outside of this form has to be flush with the face of the brick. That way, when I pour the concrete up against it, you won't see that there's no brick beneath the top two courses. And you won't have a protruding footing. Here's Eric, the chef, mixing up the concrete. After all the demo, he has started to get a little back situation, so he has the back brace on now. And they do work. I notice a difference when I wear one also. Kind of gives you a little bit more core strength, basically, is what it does. And we have Roberto here. He's kind of rotting it off. Now, while the concrete's still wet, but hard enough to stand on its own, we'll pull the stakes out, and we're going to go ahead and start sticking the bricks down to that wet concrete. And I'm filling up a bucket with water right now, because what I'm going to do is I'm going to sink the bricks into this water. That way it'll clean them. Not only will it clean them, it'll also make them wet, so it'll actually adhere to the concrete better. Now on the existing footing where I'm also tying into, I'm putting some concrete glue. That way the bricks will stick to that. Some of the footing was sticking up a little bit where the end of the brick ended. So I had to chip that down a little bit with the hammer so I have a nice starting point here. I could have just slapped mortar down and dropped bricks on it, but I just went with the extra mile on this. And then I put some glue, and then I dropped mortar. Concrete glue does work. I've I have some brick, actually cantilever bullnose brick on the front entry of a house. One of my relatives that I had done about 30 or 40 years ago, one of the cantilever brick edges broke off, and I ended up just gluing it back in. It's still there to this day, 40 years later, just with glue on a heavy traffic area. So it works really well. Now I have the Milwaukee Smart Level. I'm just kind of checking it for level and straight. See, the outside of that form is, on the inside of the form, it's flush with the outside face of brick, so there won't be any footings showing when we pour the driveway up against it. You know, some people will just set your bricks and then you come back and grout bag all your joints. In some cases, in a lot of cases, like when I'm building a planter or something like this, I'll butter both ends and knock it out in one pass. I've got the cordless DeWalt 9-inch blade on there, diamond blade, and it works great for brick, cuts it like butter. We went through I believe we used 4 bags of the 60-pound premix concrete for the foot or starter wall, you may say. And we went through 2 bags of mortar to complete this little planter extension. Now I'm just knocking the mortar off of the brick, so I'm using the edge of my trowel. And it takes a precision hit with that to get a clean break on those mortars. Otherwise, if you don't hit it right, you'll end up breaking the brick or knocking a chunk out of it. So I'm going to get this front face completed, and then I'm going to that return to the block wall. Roberto and Eric are going to handle that, and I'm going to jump on over prepping some other stuff. So that looks pretty straight that way with the existing, and we're staying flat on top. So the deal with that brick is, since we're going back the other way and we want to stagger the corner, I ended up cutting that brick in half. Yeah, I ended up cutting one of these bricks in half so we had an overlap on the end. Now what we did there, we just pulled the string line all the way from the back of sidewalk all the way to the property line. That way this brick line will be straight with the property line all the way through the driveway to the back of city sidewalk. Now if you want some more forgiving type mortar to use besides the pre-mix bags, you can use the pre-mix, but if you throw a little bit of lime in there, a lot easier to work with. And I'm not talking about the fruit, lime. It's actually lime that is used for masonry. I could just see someone out here taking, limes and squeezing them into the wheelbarrow. And that's the whole process pretty much. Once you get it all set, you just take a sponge, damp sponge, and clean it all up. And we're just trying to match the existing mortar joints, and it looks like that's what they had did on those. They didn't run a striker through all those joints and shine and polish them up. They just kind of sponged them or brushed them. So we're just kind of trying to imitate what they had did before. That way we get a nice match. You can see already that you can't even see the joint now where it ends or where it started. Anyway, thanks for watching this video, and that's how you modify an existing brick planter and make it fit the new design. Have a good day. Make sure you like, share, subscribe, hit the notification button. That way you'll be notified on my next upload. Have a good one.